Hello? I'm in line to get a Diet Coke at McDonald's, and my camera is about to die on me any second here.
Thank you for choosing McDonald. Be with you in just a minute.
Okay, thanks. I don't know why my camera is almost dead. I had it plugged in all day long. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. This has been the craziest day. I fell asleep. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, but I've been up for like a while because I forgot to upload my vlog from yesterday. And not only that, but I deleted the first 15 minutes of my vlog from yesterday and then put it in the trash and then emptied the trash. I had a good day today, but I worked my ass off. I was in my office all day, and then I came home and I wanted to get these videos up, so I rushed and.
Thank you for choosing McDonald's. Go ahead with your order.
Can I get a large Dr. Pepper, please?
Large Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
No. First one.
I want a Dr. Pepper, not a Diet Coke. I'm craving some sugar tonight. I don't know why, but anyway. So anyway, I got the videos up. Well, Tanya had booked us those foot massages at 8 o'clock tonight because Alex was going out to dinner with the girl that he works with. He always does that on Wednesday nights. And so Tanya and I usually do something on Wednesday nights together. And I don't know how long. You guys, this is just going to stop all of a sudden because literally the battery is dead. So my vlog tomorrow, this vlog may be 5 minutes, it may be 3 minutes. I apologize. So if it is, it'll give you time to catch up because I posted my vlog from yesterday so late. I posted it at 2:45, 3 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, we went and did that, and then I came home and I ate dinner, and then Alex was going to bed, and so I was in bed with him and I was talking and stuff like that, and I must have just fallen asleep, you guys. I mean, completely. I wasn't even tired, but I must have fallen asleep while we were talking, which never happens to me, because 1 second I remember we were sitting there and we were talking, and the next second I woke up and it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh my god, I never posted my vlog, which I had been rendering. The whole thing was a mess because I couldn't find the first part of it, and I was rendering it, and then I was looking for the second part, and then I had to upload it. It just was a mess. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I got it up. It's up. And but in case it doesn't make any sense to you in the context of why all of a sudden I just started this birthday party, you'll understand. And then I was on Audible, and I was buying all these books because I wanted some Christmas books. So I bought the Christmas box by Richard Paul Evans because I've never read it and I heard it was really good. I bought Woebegone Days by Garrison Keillor because I love Garrison Keillor, which is why I just mispronounced his name. And the Lake Woebegone show. Did you guys ever listen to the show on National Public Radio? I think he has his own podcast now. But my mom and I used to listen to it when I was a kid, and it's so homey, and it's so just I don't know, I just am so enamored of that simple, very innocent life. I love that, and I think that's I kind of strive a little bit towards that life. And so, I think life in its simplicity is where the real true beauty exists, we all like a nice pair of sunglasses, a nice bag, really nice hotel accommodations. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be a bullshit artist and act like I don't like that stuff. Trust me, I do. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I've got money. How are you?
I'm all right. It's cold.
It was snowing. It was snowing. There's $1. Hold on, I got 9.
Yeah, it's snowing early.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Here's a quarter.
Thank you for choosing McDonald's. I'll be with you in just a minute. Here you go, bro.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Seeing you again.
It was good seeing you too.
Thank you.
So anyway, I almost hit that thing. What was I gonna say? I don't even know what I was gonna say. Oh, my mom and I used to listen to Woebegone Days. No, I think that life is really in the simplicity. I really do. All of that stuff is nice, but it's nothing compared to seeing your dogs run around in the yard or laying in bed with your partner. And I hate that word, partner. I think it's so phony. Thank you, sir. Your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever. Whatever makes you happy. I will never understand, I really don't understand this. This is gonna sound so stupid. Like, I really don't understand this, okay? I really, okay. Like, if I had to truly wrap my head around this whole fight against marriage equality, okay? Like, I can understand somebody's religiosity, making them and their spiritual beliefs not wanting a law changed against that. Like, I totally get that, okay? I really, really do. But what I do not understand is somebody condemning people for loving and like having to speak out about it. Okay, like I'm not talking about a law that will be changed that really doesn't affect you, but like I guess sends a greater message. I'm trying to really like walk in their shoes, so to speak, like Atticus Finch says, you know, that like if I was in their shoes, what I would say is like, you know, like, okay, but like if we allow marriage equality, then they're going to be role models to the children and that's whatever. Okay. Like I understand that like from a legal point of view, but these people that make it in their intent on their mission to like take down other people that like love each other. I do not understand that. Like, I do not understand why your mission in life, like, why would you not use all your time and energy towards something positive to change? Why would you, and maybe they do see it as positive, hell, I don't know, but why would you use it towards something like, I don't know, I don't understand it. I will never understand that somebody's finest moment will be like, we kept those two from being together. I am like all my hard work, this entire world was from keeping those two people together. It's like when your child is in love with somebody that you don't necessarily like, okay, unless you think that it's a detriment to their soul or their, you know, who they are as a person, let them love who they like to love, you know? Oh my God, it tastes so good. I haven't had a real Dr. Pepper and I cannot tell you how long. I need to get back to that no soda thing. So anyway, but I love the simple life, you know, like just the smallness of the world. I've got to stop and get cheese later for PP's medication. I can't forget that. Sometimes I forget that I'm vlogging and I think you guys are like literally in my car and I'm just talking to you. Honest to God, I do. But I can't forget to get cheese because Alex hates the pill pockets. I hate those pill pockets too. I think they are totally, okay, the kind that we got are the greenies pill pockets, and I don't know if there are better pill pockets out there or whatever, but PP somehow seems to eat around the pill every time. And I'm like, okay, so the whole purpose of these super expensive, basically treats that you are just hollowed out and you put a pill inside of them, are so that they'll eat the pill and trick them, right? But then he eats around it like he knows it's in there, which he probably does. So, and I know everybody's got their opinion about what we should do. But I am going to start making some homemade food for him because Tia told me she gave me some suggestions for what to do. And I actually Googled it and found a bunch of like recipes. And there's some actually really cool recipes out there for dogs and how to get them the nutrients they need and things like that. Plus, I like the idea of that, like homemade food for your dog. I think it's kind of cool. I know Boo Radley would like it. Boo Radley would say, home-cooked meal? All right, let me put my napkin around my neck. So anyway, I got Garrison Keeler's Lake Wobegondes, and then I got the Christmas Blizzard by him too, because I got on there specifically for Christmas books, and I ended up like not getting Christmas books. And then I got the Christmas box. I guess I did get 2 Christmas books. I ended up getting 4 or 5 books. I can't remember. But they're all of them really short. They're all of them like 4 or 5 hours or less. Like one of them's like 2 hours. I was like, man, that's a short book. But that's okay. I'm trying to get my books read for this month, so those will just add on up. I literally could spend like, I could spend so much money on Audible in a month. I listen to so much Audible. You guys have no idea. I like literally am constantly listening to an audiobook. I love it. I love it so much. I love reading, and when I was a little kid, I loved being read to, and my mom always bought me those. And this is why I think I kind of consider, like, people are like, Audible, like, audiobooks are not reading. Yes, it is. I hate when people say that. When I was a kid, my mom used to always buy me those records. Do you guys remember the records that, like, had a book at the beginning of it and the record, like, fell in, like, the folder in the back, and then you would, like, play the record, and then it would go bing, and you'd like turn the page. Oh my God, I had an Alice in Wonderland one that I loved. And I had Free to Be You and Me. Do you guys remember that? And so yeah, that's how I like learned, like that's how I started to learn to read. I don't even know, like, this would be interesting. I don't even know, like, what age I read at. Like, if I asked my dad would be like, oh, I have no idea. But, like, my mom would have known that. But isn't that funny? I never asked her, like, how old I was when I started reading. You'd think that would be a question that I would have asked her, being it's like, we talked about books all the time. I'm, like, finding myself, like, wanting to reread books. I almost bought She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. Oh, that was one of them that I got was the Christmas book by Wally Lamb. Who I loved. She's Come Undone was one of my all-time favorite books. I mean, still to this day. But, like, I've forgotten a lot about it, and so I was like, I think I'm going to reread that book, and I'm going to listen to it on Audible, because when I read it before, it was probably, like, it was when I was with my first boyfriend, and we were in Cancun, and I probably was 23, so I bet it's been, like, 22 years since I've read that book. God, that's crazy when I think about that, and what an impact it had on me. So I think I'm going to reread that book. The Celestine Prophecy had a huge effect on me too, and I don't even know why. It's probably hokey. And now when I read back, you know, like when you read a book and like at that time it like totally changes you, and then like you read it later and you're like, why did this book have such an impact on me? But it did. It was like the first book that I read when I got out of treatment, and I remember I just was like blown away. I was like, I've got to change my life today. Like, that's how I felt. I was like, today you have to change your life. But I'm glad that happened, you know, as a result of reading that book. There was something else I wanted to reread too. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to say goodnight now in case this just all of a sudden just like cuts off mid-like sentence, which I don't think it will, but let's just, you know how it goes sometimes with Peter's Vlogs. Welcome to Peter's Vlogs. And that like, there was something else I wanted to buy tonight, and I was like, I'm so obsessed with buying these audiobooks and then like powering through them. Right now I'm listening to Wonder, which just came out as a movie. It's so good, you guys. I've already cried like 5 times. And I will only listen to unabridged novels too. Except for that, the only version of like Woebegone Days that they had was abridged, and I was not happy about that. This is the difference, if you don't know, is that unabridged means it's exactly how it's written in the book. It's like not edited at all. And abridged usually means like a shorter version of it. And I don't read abridged books. Like, I don't listen to them. I just don't like it. I think, like, why would you not want to listen to the whole book? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I have absolutely not one thing to do tomorrow, and I am so excited about it. I want to do a live stream tomorrow night, because I haven't done a live stream yet this month, and I said I was going to do it every day. And, so I want to do a live stream tomorrow night. And then I've got to come up with some really cute video ideas. I did this video on my main channel today, and it was called Be a Man, and it was so like, it was something that I just like, that's the kind of stuff I love to do, to just like sit and ad-lib on camera. Like, I love that. And, because it very much feels like having a conversation with people and like just being a jokester, you know? Like, that's fun to me. And then what else am I going to do tomorrow? Oh, we'll probably sleep in. Imagine that. Kel Sapri. I'd like to read a little bit tomorrow. There was this challenge on Mini Moji-a-thon that was like, you put your phone down for an hour and you don't look at anything and just read for an hour straight, and I never did it, and I wish I had, so I think I'm going to maybe do that tomorrow. Excuse me. I was doing bills earlier tonight. All my bills paid for December. I'm so happy. It always feels so good when I get all the stupid bills paid for a month. I learned this thing years ago, I think it was in Rhonda Berg's Magic, which, if you guys want to do a book to start the year off right, that book is fantastic. It's called Magic, and it's 30 Days of Gratitude. And this guy's doing something funny with his lights. I don't know what he's doing, but I don't want to be in front of him. But she has you do all these assignments that make you like more grateful for your life. And one of the assignments that she does in there is that like every time you pay a bill, you write on it thank you, and you say thank you to whatever your higher power, universe, wind, whatever, right? It doesn't even have to be anything. thank you for having enough money to pay this bill. You write on it. And I still do that, you guys. Is that not crazy? And like, I still take a lot of paper bills. Like, I don't do all of my bills electronically. Like, a lot of them I get in the mail. And I know. But most of them I do. So anyway, but it was funny because I like, whenever I get all my bills paid for the month, I'm always like, thank you for having enough money to pay for all the bills. People are always like, okay, so how do gay couples do, like, finances and marriages? Like, okay, probably the same as straight couples do. I pay all the bills. No. That's totally not true. Alex would kill me if he was sitting here right now. Alex and I decided a long time ago, because we had both had really bad histories with our exes financially, meaning that they took money from us. I had a joint savings account with my ex that when I went to go split to give him half and I was going to keep the other half, he had linked it to his checking account so that anytime he overdrew, it would like immediately take it out of the savings account. I was not aware that he had done that. And I'm like somebody that keeps my checkbook to the penny. Like, I'm like weird. I still have like an old school checkbook and I keep it to the penny because, listen, people are always like, oh, I looked at my checking account and what you have online is not what you have because you have bills out, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So I always know to the penny what I have. I've talked enough about this on here, but I round up and I do all this kind of stuff and I pad my account. So I really don't know what I have in my account, but I can tell you that what I have in my account is at least a good $1,000 more than what I really have in there, because for at least 10 years I've padded the Stam account. So I know that it's probably at least, I don't know, 500 or 1,000 over, because I don't want to overdraw my account. So that way I never will. But anyway, apparently my ex's way to never overdraw an account is to hook our joint savings up to his account. So when I went to go split this savings account, that was like, I think at the time it was like $8,000. It was absolutely zero. And the bank lady was like, well, you have no savings account anymore. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, it's a joint savings account. And so he just hooked it up to this and, you know, he drained it. I mean, like every time that he overdrew, I go, how many times did he overdraw? And she goes, yeah, it was kind of a problem. He came in here and talked to us quite a bit about it. And I was like, $8,000? Like, my God. I could not believe it. And I, you know, at the time, like, it's so interesting to me in retrospect. Like, at the time, I just kind of was like, I was so hurt getting out of the relationship, and I was so sad, and I felt bad for him, and all kinds of stuff, and, you know, I just kind of let it go. $8,000, I just let $4,000, I still to this day cannot believe that I just let that go, you know? But I did. So anyway, and Alex and I actually just recently talked about wanting to start a joint savings account together, but we agreed because he had a very similar situation with an ex, and he said, and Alex is really weird with money, like he is so good with money, and I'm very good with money now after having learned a lot of bad lessons in my life, and he said, but if we do a savings account, he goes, I want us, like, no money comes out of it unless we both sign off on it, and I said, absolutely, I agree. So, because we don't have a joint savings account, we each have separate savings accounts. I have two, I think he has one or two. And then what we do is we split the bills, I mean, literally right down the middle. And are you even interested in this? You're probably like, it's really none of your business how we do our finances, but I think people find this interesting and maybe it'll help you. I don't know, it works for us. We've never really fought on money. We don't fight about money. And I'll tell you why, and this was part of it. It was like, I asked Tanya when Alex and I got together and we decided that we were going to live together and have our finances together. I said, what do you guys do? And she goes, you know, Eric and I have one account. We pay all of our bills out of it and we each put money in there, and then we each have our own separate accounts and we spend the money our way what we want to. That way we don't fight with each other over, oh, you bought this, oh, you bought that, because once the bills are paid out of that joint account, and that's what we do. So Alex and I both split the bills down the middle and pay half of them, and he usually gives me, you know, like a check, like to put into that account, like the last day of the month before, the first day of the month next, and then I pay all the bills. I like to have all the bills. I like to do all the bills because I'm a complete control freak. And yeah, and so that's what we do, and then we don't worry about it for, like, you know what I mean? So it's nice. It's like, and then, like, as far as going out to dinner, unless we specifically, one of us takes the other person out, like on a romantic date, which we try to, like, do back and forth, like maybe once every other week. I think it's actually my turn. we just split meals constantly. So, not Dutch. Like, if we go to dinner, like, I'll pay. And then, like, the next time he'll pay. And we go back and forth. And we never get into this. Like, if one dinner is like 120 and the next dinner is 30, like, we don't play that game. Like, it's just your turn. You know, that's what it is. And that's just worked for us. And that way nobody gets bitter about money. And nobody is like, well, I always pay for everything. And, you know, we never get upset about, like, Costco and who bought the toilet paper and the paper towels the last time, because you'll go the next time, you know, is whatever. And like with all of PP's pet bills right now, I just paid him, and he just yesterday said to me, what do you need me to pay for my half of the, you know, bills with PP? And I was like, well, here's what it is. If you want to pay for half of it, that's cool. If you don't want to, it's not that big of a deal, you know? I've worked with so many couples through the years that have fought over finances. I'm not willing to do it. I'm not willing to have that be a problem in my relationship. And so, you know, the other thing is that Alex and I, both of us do okay financially, but neither one of us is so rich that we can't, I mean, we depend on the other person, you know what I mean? And I think that's what makes a lot of couples really, like, I think that strengthens the relationship. And when you're in that position, like, money can really fuck up a relationship. And when you're in that position where, like, together you guys can achieve more financially than you would if you were alone, you know what I mean? Like, you can either use that as a strength, or you can use that to tear each other down, you know? Like, oh, who makes more in the relationship? And it becomes this power differential. And that's some sick shit in a relationship, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, I've been in 3 long-term relationships by 45, and at any point in any of those relationships, there will be times that the other person makes more money than you, and you make more money than the other person. I mean, even in the 10 years that Alex and I have been together, like, when I met Alex, you know, I was seeing 30 to 40 people a week in my private practice. I mean, figure it out, you know? And, I wasn't working in treatment, so that's all I was doing. But like, I was doing some contractual work outside of there. I was like doing really well, and I was 36 years old. I really had like no debt at the time, you know, except for like this shit that happened with my mom. And, you know, Alex was a 24-year-old college student that was finishing up school, and he had just been in a horrible car accident so he didn't have a car, and he was, you know, like working 2 jobs. And now, you know, he has a 10 times nicer car than I do. And not because of me. He earned all that shit, you know? And he works 2 jobs and does contractual stuff on the side. And my husband is a hard-ass worker. He just really is a hard worker. And I really respect it, you know? And there are months that Alex makes a lot more than I do. And there are months that I make a lot more than Alex does. And it all balances out. And I think, you know, like, you have to see that you guys are in it together and that you're a team, you know, and that's like a word that Alex uses a lot with us as a couple, is that we're a team, you know, we'll get through this, we're a team. And I think that's a cool attitude to have towards it. My ex and I never really fought a lot about money, but this is the opposite of fighting about money. We never had any discussions about money either, which is really, really dangerous, you know? I think it's important to have discussions about money in a relationship. You have to. Like, we never talked about money, and, you know, at the end when we broke up at 6.5 years, I got very bitter, not just because of the savings account, but I realized that in over 3 or 4 years, he had never paid a cent. Like, never paid a bill, ever. Never paid for half of a trip, never paid for half of, you know what I mean? He would maybe go through fast food and get it for me. When we first got together, he paid for a lot, but then after that, he didn't. And when he and I broke up, he was making very good money. He was making like $150,000, and I had no clue. I mean, like, you know, I mean, I don't know what you consider very good money, but very good money for doing hair. I didn't, you know, have really any clue that that's the kind of money that he was making. I had no idea. And I was like, where's your money going? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, oh my God. Like, this is like serious shit here going on, you know? And, so we never talked about money. You know, we would take these outlandish trips and we would like throw them on the credit card. I remember the last big trip we took was to St. Lucia, and it was like a $7,000 trip, and I just threw it on the credit card, no questions asked whatsoever. I mean, I was paying on that trip long after we were ever together, you know? And I think that's a problem when couples don't ever have conversations about money. You know, Alex and I tonight, we were talking about going to Miami for New Year's. He really, really, really wants to go to Miami for New Year's. A lot of our friends are going down there that are Venezuelan. And I'm like, we got online and we looked at the hotels and we looked at the flights. Okay, to fly down to Miami and to stay in a hotel for 4 nights, like not even like the greatest hotel, but kind of in somewhere that we would like to be, is like minimum $1,500, $1,600 a person. I'm like, Alex, that is like, okay, listen, we can stay here and not spend a cent and go to this party, this huge party downtown that our friends are throwing, or that, not the one that we go to every year that I said I would never go to again, but a different one. I said, we can go to Miami and spend all this money that we don't have, like, you know, or that we do have, but not really, that we could be using for a trip, you know, next year. And he's like, I know, but I really wanted to go to Miami. And he was like, and you said you really wanted to go to Miami. I go, I do really want to go to Miami. I would love to be in Miami for New Year's, don't get me wrong, but like, I mean, if I had like unlimited amount of money right now, or somebody wanted to offer us their condo, sure, I'd go to Miami in a heartbeat, but, you know, so, y'all know a hotel out there that wants to sponsor this one for 4 days in Miami over New Year's, or if you have a condo you'd like to lend me, but, and a private plane you want to fly me. Flights are expensive down there for those 4 days too. It's like $500. So, but we didn't get into an argument about it. And like, that's like, we don't take trips unless we have the money. Like when we went to Mexico, like that was very decisive. Like we were like, we're not going unless we have the money. You know what I mean? Like we don't go on trips unless we have the money. And unless we can pay for it in cash. Alex is very anti-credit card. I have a credit card for emergencies. I don't know. We have a lot of conversations about that, and I think it's good. It's when you're afraid to have those conversations. And you know, I know a lot of women watch my channel, and I will say this, through the years, one of the things that I've really worked a lot with in my office is women that are going through divorce that have absolutely no idea about finances and have absolutely no idea about their own finances, like their husbands keep all of that information. So I'm speaking to heterosexual women that are in heterosexual marriages. If you don't have any idea of your finances, find out. If you don't have any idea about your finances and your husband is resistant to you finding out, you might want to ask yourself, why does my husband not want me to understand finances? Get online, educate yourself, learn how to keep a checking account, open a checking account, open a savings account, put $10 in there, put whatever. But have a name associated with some kind of credit, you know? Learn about finances, learn about, you know, how to have a checking account, how to pay a bill. Like, these are things that, like, you would think in 2017 everybody would know, but a lot of women don't, because they get out of marriages and they're like, my husband always took care of this, you know, and then they go through divorces and they, and I equally have had a lot of men that have had finances hidden and their wives never knew about it. I think it's some really sick shit, honestly. Just make sure you're taking care of yourselves, you know? God, what a weird vlog this was. I'd become like that financial advisor, Dave Ramsey. Peter Monn as Dave Ramsey, discussing marital money. Marital money with Dave Ramsey. God, that'll be my next book. Marital money. I mean, I have so many channels at this point, I might as well just start an advice podcast. Don't. I'm not. So anyway. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here. Like, literally, it was so weird. It was all in yellow, and now it keeps on going back and forth. It was like at 13%, and then it went down to 9%, and then it's back up to 12%. So I don't know what's going on with this camera. It's the weirdest thing, but I'm almost at 30 minutes. So, hey, that's a vlog. So I'm going to let you guys catch up on the vlog from yesterday. I'm sorry I deleted the first 15 minutes. Basically, what we said was I've been working with the vet all day because PP had been coughing. They said they did not want to up his medicine, the Lasix, at that time. They wanted us to watch until Friday, call again on Friday. They didn't want to change the medication based on just one day. He did not cough at all today. He seems much better. We're not really sure how much of it isn't that the cold is affecting him too, because he's an older dog. So, oh, poor PP. And having to feed 3 dogs separately because they're all on wet dog food now. It's just being a dog dad. I love every minute of it, though. Anyway, so that's basically what I talked about yesterday. All right, you guys. I hope you're having a really good week so far. It's almost the weekend. Just got paid Friday night, except it's Thursday. I love you. Bye.